Okay, I've just been recording for 15 minutes muted. I love that. That's very fun. Hello gamers, gamettes and game days. I'm coming to you today with information that will change your life. As I was saying before, and I'm going to do it a bit quicker this time because I don't really have a lot of time. So listen well, because this video will only be available for like one viewing. So you better listen. I'm not gonna repeat myself, and don't you dare going back on the videos, rewinding the video. I've been having poop related issues for the past few years. TMI, I know. But that's a necessary introduction to the topic of today's video, so bear with me. And recently I've had enough. I said, well, if I don't do anything about it, nobody's going to. So I was like, okay, what do I do about this? Two solutions presented themselves to me. Let's be fully honest. Going to the doctor or taking it into my own hands. And I consider myself to be quite the scholar, so I decided to take it into my own hands. Mine own two hands. And turns out it was the right decision. I don't think everybody should do that because not everybody is as smart and superior as me. But, listen to what I say, maybe that will help you. But if you need medical help, go to a doctor because you're definitely not equipped to deal with this kind of medical emergency. So I've been having the digestive issues, diarrhea, namely, and constipation, alternating. And I was like, okay, my doctor is stupid. Every doctor is stupid. Well, no. Every doctor is very smart, but I'm just infinitely smarter. My wisdom is just beyond my years, beyond every medical institution. So I was like, what can I do to solve this? Diet changes. Honestly, that's all. And I expected my diet, this diet I created to solve my issues, my poop issues. But what I got just fucking was scores beyond what I expected. And I'm not going to go into detail just now. Watch the entire video. There are surprises throughout. But suffice it to say, you're going to want to listen to what I'm saying. So what's the diet? Pretty simply, and I mean, I'm going to try to not invoke brand names because I want it to be universal, and I also don't want to give brands any undue merits, I guess. But if you've heard of these chemicals that are used in everyday cleaning, perhaps known in the US under the brand name Clorox. Bleach is kind of like a generic name for it. These kind of chemicals. I've been ingesting them, but, okay, I'm not ingesting them like raw. This is very important. Because you need a few things. Lemon juice is very important, and I think every single diet needs lemon juice somewhere, If you're not drinking lemon juice as your sole provider of electrolytes and liquid, I mean, whatever. I don't respect you as a person, but to each their own, I guess. So you take, I guess, a liter of lemon juice that you mixed with a liter of bleach. You need a big vat for that, and don't forget to to buy a stir rod, but like when you buy that rod, you need a big vat. So you buy a big rod, and also buy a rod that's like acid resistant, because I mean that might sound scary. I agree. I concede you that, you know, if you use the wrong kind of metal for your stir rod, it will melt in the concoction, and that's, I mean, okay, imagine that the rod is your fat, and the rod also is the toxins that are built up in your body. The rod, basically, the modern person's diet has included a lot of metals and irons and stuff like that creates a barrier in your brain, the blood-brain barrier. Maybe you've heard of it. People say it's a good thing, the blood-brain barrier. It keeps things from in your blood from going into your brain and killing you. Well, that's what the medical institutions want you to believe, because we are not born with a blood-brain barrier. It's constructed with the diet that they feed us, with different type of ions and metals and stuff like that create an alloy that's very, very resistant. And while that was not the goal of my particular diet, that's what it ended up doing, was destroying this barrier and unlocking a potential within me that, quite frankly, I'm scared to keep for myself. I don't want it to be only for me. So the blood-brain barrier does not keep things from entering your brain, but actually keep things from exiting your brain into the real world. Have you heard of? And I say, as I said, we are not born with a blood-brain barrier. It's a thing we develop in infancy. And so, I mean, follow this to its natural conclusion. Have you heard of the movie Baby Geniuses? You've probably heard about it. It's a pretty popular movie, pretty funny, pretty good. I like it. Well, it's not. I mean, the movie presents itself as a documentary, and I think it's fully right to do so, because it is. Quite frankly, it is a documentary, and it's real, basically. But they don't really tell you, because they're not allowed to, obviously, why the baby lose their genius once they enter infancy, toddler age or whatever, like when they grow older. And it's because they've been fed heavy metals to build a blood-brain barrier. And I think that's disgusting, because, I mean, wait. Sorry. This is not related to the illness, to the diet. A illness consumes me from deep within, and I don't know where it comes from. And this is not something the diet helped. Quite the opposite. But I'll get into that a bit later. So, as I was saying, yes, Baby Geniuses is a documentary. We are all born as baby geniuses, but the modern day diet, and to be honest, not necessarily modern day, because it's like forever. The human diet creates a blood-brain barrier that keeps you from having quite literally infinite intelligence stat. Because if you imagine your body like a video game character or a TTRPG character, you have infinite. When you are born, your intelligence stat is like infinite. It's literally like the symbol infinite next to it. And once you once you start ingesting their poison, a barrier starts, and your intelligence stat goes like to the shitter, basically. Like you go to regular human intelligence, which is 8, I guess. I don't know. I'm not fucking nerd. I'm not a nerd. I don't know these things. Okay. But yeah. So this diet, while it was not its primary goal or objective, and I just discovered that as I took the diet, not necessarily, that's not something that I knew before. I mean, as I said, it unlocked my infinite intelligence, so now I can backtrack and say, yes, this is the result of my diet. Obviously, and it makes sense. And I guess my body was built different because my blood-brain barrier was never that strong to begin with. Because to be able to come up with something so genius, I mean, obviously, I had a pretty high intelligence stat. Anyways, the diet itself consists of, as I said, a big vat. 1 liter of Clorox, 1 liter of lemon juice. Use a big stir rod. You stir that shit. Nice. Okay, what you put in there next really depends on what you like in terms of taste. So personally, I added some chocolate. You can like buy baking chocolate for like cheap and melt it, or you can add vanilla extract. You can add whatever you want, like something that you enjoy eating the taste of, because and you have to put a lot. Like vanilla extract, usually you put like a drop or 2, because it's a lot. Maybe you might add a little more. No, because here it's like the taste of bleach is really, really strong and potent. So you want to like fucking use the entire bottle of vanilla extract. You've probably heard of the tumbler vanilla extract cake. Well, basically you do that. And if you're using chocolate, like same fucking 15 bars of baking chocolate. If you're using white chocolate, you need 20 because it's a little less strong in taste. If you like strawberries, I can't help you. You have to find it out on your own. I don't eat fruits ever. That's for animals. Okay, next ingredient. The next ingredient might be a little bit harder to obtain. Bromine. I mean. So bromine is considered quote unquote a carcinogenic chemical. Obviously, that's a lie. They're telling you that to keep you away from it. And if you've seen Nile Red and all these people that or Mr. Green guy, whatever, that like to make bromine at home, they kind of get it because they are able to make it at home, and then which means they realize that it's not that dangerous, because otherwise they wouldn't do it. But like not enough to say like do it. So what I'm telling you is get yourself some bromine. Not telling you how. Don't synthesize it yourself, obviously. But, do the necessary steps to get yourself a liter of bromine. Put it in the vat. But before you put it in the vat, do consider that bromine evaporates very quickly. So from this point on, you need to be very fast. So watch this video and don't do it along with me. But watch this video a few times. Get yourself the ingredients. Get the bromine last. And then get it. You know what I mean? But it's important to put it third or fourth, if you count the flavor. So pour yourself a good liter of bromine. The mixture is going to start bubbling a lot. No worries, that's only natural. That's the blood-brain barrier destructor taking effect. Next, and okay, this one is a bit, I'm not sure if it's necessary, but I always add it just in case. A leaf of mint and thyme. You might have mint and thyme in like what's it called? Dried form. Don't use that. Pick a fresh leaf of mint and thyme. Not a leaf of thyme, but like a branch, a sprig. And put it in the vat, like it's floating on top of the bromine, and hopefully the bromine vapors will have created like a layer above the liquid, where if you pick the right leaf of mint, it's gonna float on it because of physics. I don't know. It's very heavy. Yes. So next, you're going to have to really like take your stir rod and like get in there, because it's very important that everything is mixed up and bromine doesn't mix well with the rest. So take your time is what I'm saying. Not too much time. because otherwise it's going to, not work anymore, because the bromine will have all evaporated. But once you've really homogenized the liquid, you're going to have to drop a few like, okay, I use euros because I'm European, but if you're Americans, dollars work as well, and really any currency I think works. You're going to have to drop the money directly into the liquid and see it dissolve. So if you have plastic money, if you're Canadian and have plastic money, you need, instead of the bleach, to use another type of acid that will eat at the plastic. I'm European, so we have paper money. It dissolves pretty much in anything. You're fine. If you're American, I think the mix of paper and fucking wool or linen or whatever it is will mix up pretty well, but you're never sure. So take your time, check if it's really dissolved. This is to destroy the capitalism that has infected your blood-brain barrier, basically. Is very important. As I said, it's a very weird method, but it works. So I'm not. Who am I to judge it? I mean, I am the person who invented it. So and then, but I mean, you're pretty much done. I mean, you need to add a few things that are very easily accessible. Go into your local, Leroy Merlin or fucking Bunnings or Home Depot or whatever, and get yourself a big vat of what's it called in English? Lye, and pour a liter of it. Like if you're American, I don't know what it I don't know the conversion rate with ounces, but you can figure it out online. And I mean, you're pretty much done. Mix it well so that the lye really fully dissolves into the rest of the thing. Take your stir rod, mix that shit up, and I mean, you're pretty much done. You're pretty much ready to eat it. I mean, drink it. I recommend, in terms of posology, I recommend a tablespoon a day. 2 tablespoons a day is what I've been doing lately, and I think it helped. 2 tablespoons a day, one with breakfast, one with dinner. If you puke after eating it, take it again, obviously. Eat with it, it's better. Even though we've added some flavor enhancer, it's pretty disgusting, so get something ready to pass the taste. And then you use it for the rest of your life, basically. Like there's no nice way to say it, unfortunately, but like the moment you stop taking it, you revert back to a dumbass. But that's the price to pay. And I mean, at the rate you're going to eat it and the rate at which is going to evaporate, you're going to be able to use that vat for a few years. If you keep it well. So a succulent Chinese meal, I think I kind of hit the intonation of that guy. If you eat it well, you know what I mean? I'm not sure. I'm feeling lightheaded. I think I'm going to have a stroke. But yeah, so in terms of effect, as I said, I mean, it stopped my diarrhea completely and constipation. I shit like a normal person now, which is what I've been, seeking to achieve with this. But also, like as I said, it unlocks potential within your brain and your ESP powers and stuff like that. Like since I've been taking it, I've been able to levitate a few inches off the ground at first, and then fucking meters, which is feet if you're American, off the ground. So yeah, that's pretty cool, I think. I mean, basically I haven't needed to take any kind of transportation, like no car obviously, but like no bus, no train, no plane, whatever. Like I need to go to fucking Tokyo, I'm flying there myself with my own powers. And I've been doing that a lot actually, because I mean, in Japan people appreciate my worth and my smartness, so I've been going there a lot. And meeting a lot of very intellectual people. So, they call themselves the hikikomori, and they're very smart, and they've been helping me, deal with and learn my new powers. But obviously you don't have to do that because I'm telling you. Besides levitation, there's a lot of applications, and I think it's pretty case by case basis. Like, whatever you enjoy doing with your mind, you might, discover it yourself. Personally, I'm a big fan of levitation, and I'm working on teleportation. I don't really like mind reading, but that does come with it, and that's something you can control. Of unfortunately, like, you will read the people around you's mind, and you will learn things you don't want to learn, and that's kind of a curse. But because you're so much superior to them, you learn to the people around you. You start learning to cope pretty easily. Like, whatever, I don't care what these people think. They levitate. They can't, and they can't read your mind. So you kind of have an advantage over them like that. So, that's what I've been getting, and I'm looking forward to it because, to be honest, even though I've been taking it for a few years now. Yeah, I've been taking it for a few years, by the way. I didn't mention it. I went back in time. Basically, the concoction allowed me to go back to time. So when I discovered it a week ago, I was able to bring it to a few years ago, and taking it. I couldn't go too far back because I just started taking it. But like, when you start really like learning how to use your time travel powers, that's when you're able to go back thousands of years at a time. But I'm not there, and quite honestly, I don't care. I just needed to get it to myself, like, a few years, just so I could experience the powers. And I think, I haven't tried it yet, but I think if I go into the future, like thousands of years into the future, I'll find myself still alive, because this concoction's probably good enough for. By the way, I said it's a diet. It's really a potion, but it is a diet as well, because you don't really need to eat or drink anything else from them. Like, I haven't eaten a thing in fucking a few years, and eaten anything and drunk anything besides that. And I don't know how it reacts with alcohol and other drugs. So do try if you want it. You basically just have superpowers now, so you don't have to worry too much about dying. But do it at your own risk, is what I'm saying. But yeah, that's it. I just needed to get it off my chest and off my notebook, because it's been. I've known about this for a few years now, because thanks to myself going back in time, but I thought it would be nice to tell the world, and I think it's done. And yeah, bye bye, and eat well.